Hey, how's it going, guys? Sanitary 103, always encouraging clean eating and a clean, healthy lifestyle. So me being the health enthusiast, I often search the internet, roam around, read different health and fitness related articles. And one subject matter that I stumbled upon recently was a very controversial, semi-controversial, untested way of getting rid of a bad habit. Whether you eat too much junk food, you smoke too much, you drink too much, whatever it is, this one technique is supposedly effective in getting rid of your habit or eliminating your habit altogether. And I want to give you my unbiased opinion on it. So what is this technique to eliminate this habit? And that is, let's say, whatever you crave or whatever you yearn for, whether it's a cigarette, or let's use a specific example, chocolate. If that's your weakness, this technique supposedly works, and that is that piece of chocolate that you cannot resist. People have stated to just simply eat as much as you want of it. Eat as much as you want of it until you feel sick to your stomach. And the reasoning behind this technique, and they say the reason why this works, is that that piece of chocolate represents temptation. But if you were to eat it to where you're gonna basically almost throw up, it's gonna create a memory, a synapse connection in your brain, and not associate that piece of chocolate with temptation. It's gonna be associated with feeling sick, feeling nauseous. Basically, you're gonna remember that moment, how you felt, and in the future, when you look at that piece of chocolate, it may not prevent you from ever eating it again, but it can help, help you resist the temptation a little bit with regards to the chocolate. Now, this sounds kind of interesting. When I first heard it, I was like, wow, I never really thought about that. So I try to always use my personal experience and use that to my best of my knowledge and to inform you guys and gals. So for you guys and gals that don't know, I have mentioned it briefly. I used to smoke back in the day. I wasn't a heavy smoker, but I was a daily smoker for close to 7 years. And smoking is one of the worst habits you can have. And nicotine is very highly addictive. So I would smoke maybe on average 3 or 4 a day. And there were times when I was at parties with my friends, chain smoking, and I would smoke upwards of close to a pack, which is 20 cigarettes a day. That sounds disgusting. Now, when I even say that, I'm like, oh my God, what did I do to myself? But anyway, I've done that, and did it really help? I would smoke, and I would, at that point, when I would get close to a pack, I'd be like, this is gross. I'm not craving a cigarette. Well, the next day or a couple days, it didn't last very long. I still would have a few cigarettes. But a better example is alcohol. You guys and gals probably can relate to this. Obviously, you go to a party, you start drinking a lot, and you drink too much to the point where you have a hangover. You get alcohol poisoning. Your head hurts. You're dehydrated. Most of you guys and gals that probably have drank before, a lot of times you don't know your limit until you exceed it, right? And I've done that many a times. Not proud of it, but I've done it. And what do you say to yourself when you're praying to the porcelain god, the toilet? I'm never gonna drink again. I'm never gonna drink again. What happens? A couple weeks later, more than likely you're gonna start drinking, and eventually you might binge again. So that's my best example. So will this technique work? It's kind of hard to say, but if somebody were to say that it's foolproof and for sure it's gonna work, no matter what, just try it, I probably wouldn't. I would take a step back and I wouldn't be completely convinced, because what happens if you crave that chocolate and then you eat 4 pounds of chocolate and the next day you're like, it was kind of gross, but I'm still kind of craving chocolate again. Because it could be counterintuitive. It could be counterproductive. You could be feeling a little bit sick, but now you may have a physical dependence on all that extra sugar that you got from the chocolate. So on one hand, yes, you're making that connection that it made you feel nauseous by eating 4 pounds of chocolate, but on the other hand, now you have a chemical dependency, the sugar itself, or in this case, if you're smoking, the extra nicotine. I could smoke 2 packs in a day and feel nauseous and feel like I want to choke. However, the next day with all that nicotine in my system, that nicotine is probably, that chemical dependency is probably going to take over that other part of my brain that says, oh, that was too nasty. So there's that balancing act. So it's just something that I wanted to share with you guys and gals. Have you ever heard about that? This technique, it is pretty interesting. I'm not sure that I'm completely sold on it. I think it's better to just maybe not be so on edge and don't treat that piece of chocolate like it's just so forbidden. Just kind of portion it out or have a cheat meal. And when you have that cheat meal once a week or however long, have that piece of chocolate without any without having a guilty conscience, excuse me. And your body and your mind will probably set you free and you won't feel as freaked out. So that's my time. Hope you enjoyed that video. Let me know what you guys think and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.